Hey everyone, my name is Jimmy Wendt and I'm in the Psych273 class at San Jose State University. I'm going to take a few minutes here to go over my evaluation of the Voices website along with the main usability issues that I uncovered along the way. Now, as a quick background, The Voice is NBC's most popular non-sports television program. It is a reality talent show starring 3 celebrity music coaches and a slew of amateur singers vying for a $100,000 grand prize and a record deal. The Voices website offers a variety of features related to the show, including videos, photos, artist and coaches' biographies, and a whole lot more. Now, the purpose of this evaluation was to identify the key usability issues impacting the Voices site, and from there, my goal was to determine the implications of those issues, provide ways to fix them, and offer ideas to help avoid them in the future. The way I went about doing this was first by putting myself in the user's shoes. I spent some time playing with the site, exploring its features, and determining both who would use the site and why. Once I felt like I had a good sense of the user demographics, use cases, contexts, and user goals, I developed a survey that I hoped would further flesh out those ideas. The survey actually provided some valuable insight into why people come to the Voices site, what they are looking for once they arrive, and what they like and dislike about its current configuration. The biggest takeaway was that regardless of whether the user is a longtime fan of the show, brand new, or somewhere in between, he or she is interested in the multimedia content above all else. So users are coming to the Voices site to watch videos, view photos, listen to music, and often some combination of the three. The next thing I did was I developed a list of key tasks that users would likely perform en route to achieving their goals. I then performed a usability study in which I instructed participants to perform those tasks and observe their performance. This study actually was very informative. It reaffirmed several key issues with the site's usability, as well as illuminated a few major problem areas that I previously had not noticed. One other thing to mention here is that I broke potential users down into 3 broad categories: diehard fans, fair weather fans, and newcomers. Now your diehards are the most loyal and committed fans of the show. They probably watch every episode. They're going to dive the deepest into the content of the site. Your fair weather fans are people who follow the show, don't necessarily watch every episode. They're probably coming to the site to keep track of new developments, get caught up on some of the content that they've missed from previous weeks. And newcomers are the people who have little or no knowledge of The Voice at all. They're coming to the site to learn about how the show works, see who's on it, and browse some of the videos or photos. From a company's perspective, your goal should be to use this website as a vehicle for turning newcomers and fair weather fans into diehards, along with keeping the diehards happy. Okay, now I'd like to walk you through the top 5 usability issues that I identified while evaluating this site. So the first issue I want to discuss involves the top of the homepage. This is a screenshot here of the very first thing users see when they arrive to the Voices site. The area located above the main menu is actually a slideshow that alternates between 5 images. Each image highlights a different type of featured content available on the site, like photos, videos, music, what have you. Users have the ability to alternate between those images by hovering over the thin gray rectangles located just above the main menu. Hovering over those gray rectangles generates thumbnails of each image, which allow the user to browse through the 5 images at their discretion. While it is a good idea to present this sort of content immediately to the user, the way in which it's presented does not make it obvious enough to the user that these are clickable graphics capable of bringing them to the content that they want to see. Instead, it comes off as advertisements for the show. In our usability study, not a single one of our participants clicked on the thumbnails above the main menu. They all said that they just assumed it was one big advertisement and immediately directed their attention to the main menu below. One big step toward making users aware of these thumbnails and their functionality would be to place the main drop-down menu above them. This rearrangement of screen real estate would make users more likely to investigate what these graphics are and not ignore them outright. Another helpful adjustment would be to make the thumbnails permanent as opposed to only activating them when a user hovers over the gray rectangles. This would increase the likelihood that users become aware of the thumbnail's existence, which would make them more likely to utilize the feature moving forward. Now, the next issue I'd like to discuss involves the features section of the homepage. Now, this is a section that also provides a sampling of different types of content available on the site, including thumbnails of videos, games, photos, and music. However, it basically just throws all of this onto the page in a disorganized fashion with no sense of order. On top of that, the labels located under each thumbnail indicate in a very small print what type of content it is. It's very hard to discern, and as it's currently configured, really this section appears more like a mosaic of pictures from the show rather than a series of links to different types of content. A couple ways that this can be fixed include grouping similar items together. So a better layout might include a row of thumbnails just for photos, another row just for videos, another for just music, and so on and so on. Placing some blank space between the groups of content would also create some distinctive sections of the page. All of this would help the users more efficiently process the information being presented to them. Additionally, increasing the size of the labels and giving them more distinctive colors that contrast with their backdrop should help them jump out at the user. Now, this actually ties in well to the third issue, which is this red bleed that is persisting throughout the site. And using this shade of red makes it very difficult to read text. It also makes links appear less obvious. And there are a few things that can be done to fix it. First and foremost, I would say eliminate the red bleed altogether. Choose a color that allows for better contrast between the text and the background. And if you really do want to have that shade of red for branding purposes or what have you, consider using it as an accent as opposed to having it dominate the site. The fourth issue that I want to cover today involves cross-pollination of music into other sections of the site. Every episode gets its own distinctive page on the site under the episode guide section. Now, this page should serve as a prime location for the user to find any content related to that specific episode, whether it's a video from the episode, music that was performed on the show, photos, whatever. The issue that we have, though, is that although users are able to access videos and photos from that specific episode on the episode page, they're not actually able to find any of the downloadable music from that episode. The only way for a user to access music from a specific episode is by going to the music section of the website. Honestly, though, this should really be available on the specific episode page as well. Multiple participants in our usability study went to the episode page first to find music from a specific episode, as opposed to going to the music section first. The bottom line is that the website is clearly capable of filtering songs by episode, so this knowledge might as well be shared across other sections of the site where users may be looking for it. The fifth issue that I'd like to discuss involves visual momentum in video browsing. And what I mean by that is really the transition between pages as a user is browsing videos. As you can see here, the user is given a variety of options from which to filter the list of video thumbnails. However, upon selecting any of those filtering options, the page refreshes to the top, where they're no longer able to see any of those filtering options or whether their selection had any impact. There's a simple way to fix this. If a user selects a filtering option, the page should automatically jump back down to that section that has all of the filtering options listed. This will maintain continuity between pages and allow for more efficient browsing of videos. That efficient browsing of videos will lead to an improved user experience and likely also lead to more ad revenue for NBC because users will be watching more and more of your content. So what are the big takeaways here? Well, the good news is that the Voices site is full of rich, engaging content. The bad news is that the interface does a poor job of presenting that content in a way that would allow users to experience all that it has to offer. How can we fix this? Well, first, you need to do a better job of laying out the content on your homepage in a cleaner, more organized fashion. Make it obvious to the users what is available to them. Next, eliminate that red bleed. This will make it easier for users to read the text and make links more obvious. After that, work on cross-pollinating content such as music into multiple sections of the site where users may be looking for it. Lastly, improve the transitions between pages. Making the journey from page to page more seamless will lead to a more enjoyable user experience, which in turn will lead to increased page views, more videos watched, more songs downloaded, and an expanded fan base. If you'd like further analysis or recommendations on the Voices website, I encourage you to read my report or to contact me either by email or phone. Thank you.